Hello and welcome back to another video of Formula 1 Challenge 1973. Today is race 10 of the season, the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort. And we're on the back of the British Grand Prix, where I crashed out after a spectacular stupidity masterclass when I forgot where actually the pit entry was and crashed right into the pit wall. And Jackie has won the race, which means he further extended his lead in the championship. So that means that I have my work cut out for me, and we really need a very good result. Well, we definitely need to beat Jackie over the next couple of races until the end of the season if we want to have a chance to the World Championship. And at this point we seem to have little chance to finish first in the constructors title, but that doesn't really matter to me. If we're in the first three, I'm still happy with that. So let's head over to the qualifying session and see where we ended up on the grid. Let's go. And I'm about to start the hot lap. So Wiesel is just coming out of the pits for his out lap. And I was actually surprised how much I forgot this track. I remember when I did season 1972 and 1970, I actually really loved this track just because the way it is, it's really fast with some tricky corners, and I actually had to relearn everything on it. I pretty much forgot everything, so at least I had something to spend the practice sessions with, and of course I practice the pit stop to make sure that I don't end up crashing into the pit wall next time. Perhaps it's something that I should have done in Silverstone as well. So let's see what we'll be capable of on this hot lap. It's the only shot I'm doing at this, because I felt that I basically maxed out what I can get out of the car settings. So no point in trying to force it, and this was a lap that I was more or less happy with. Didn't make any big mistakes. He's just pulling in front of me. I think that was Reutemann. That's a 120. And let's see where we end up on the grid. So it's Peter Revson in the McLaren starting from P1, followed by Emerson Fittipaldi. Then on P3 we have Ronnie Peterson. And then on P4 and 5 we have the two Tyrrells of Jackie Stewart and Francois Sever. And actually the starting grid, you see, it's not the one that happened during the qualifying session, because after I hit finish session it just jumped over and mixed up the entire grid. Jackie X on P6, Merzario on P7, Regazzoni on P8. So yeah, this was completely different from what you actually see now. Jochen Mass on P9, Beltoise on P10, Perley on P11, then Niki Lauda on P12, Wiesel on P13, and the game gave him a lot better lap time than he actually had. Reutemann on P14, Jarier on P15, James Hunt far back all the way down on P16, and then you can see me on P17, and I was actually on P14 when the session was finished. So thank you very much, F1 Challenge. Halewood on P18, Jackie Oliver on P19, Watson on P20, Pace on P21. That's another unusual qualifying. He used to be way up on the grid. Halm on P22, not good for him either. Fulmer on P23, Scheckter on P24, De Adamic on P25. My teammate Van Lennep is on P26, followed by Wilson Fittipaldi and Von Opel. And behind them we have my other teammate Ganley and Butler, Ammon and Graham Hill close the grid. And the lights are out. Actually they never came on, and as you can see we have the first wet race of this season. So we all started on the wets. The track is wet, however it doesn't rain at the moment, and it actually helps me quite a bit because everyone is just so slow. We're tiptoeing into the first corner and over to the next one, and everyone is just really careful. I make a bit of a mistake and I'm all the way up to P11, right behind Lauda, and I'm trying not to make contact with him. Now he's pulling away a bit and I don't really mind it. Okay, so they just disregard the track limits and collide. Sever is out of the race. And someone else was just on the track side as well. So that's another 3 free positions for me, up to P8. And it looks like I'm actually faster than Lauda, which I am. Overtake Lauda, Mas, and maybe even Merzario. Yes. So I'm in the points now, all the way up to P6. And it's Regazzoni ahead with an almost 4 seconds gap. It's going a little bit off the track. And all kinds of madness was going on already. A lot of crashes, a lot of broken front wings here and there, and actually already quite a lot of drivers crashed out of the race completely, which is one of the main reasons that this video is going to be a little shorter than normal. And I start the next lap on P5, almost 5 seconds behind Regazzoni and more than 3 seconds ahead of Mas. There were actually a couple of us who started at the back of the grid managed to win a good couple of positions. Mas was quite behind as well, and now he's up to P6 right behind me. And Regazzoni is able to extend the gap even further, almost 6 seconds now. And now I'm being told that Sever is out of the race, but I already saw him spinning in this very corner in the first lap. And now I've got Jackie Stewart in front of me because Regazzoni was out of the race. So I'm up to P4. And Jackie's got almost 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds lead on me at the moment. But I'm catching up quite quickly. I think he's going to pit as well. Revson is out of the race. Wiesel has lost his front wing. So the rain is definitely mixing things up quite a bit. No, it wasn't Revson who was out of the race, then don't mind. And it's Jackie X on P2, and that was Jackie Stewart going into the pits, so I'm up to P3. And on lap 6, Jackie X is out of the race as well, and Revson is out of the race as well. So I came up all the way to the lead of the race because everyone just crashed out due to the heavy rain. And at this point in the race, so as you can see, that's only lap 7. About half the pack is already out. And I have Burley behind me. And on lap 12, I'm coming in for a set of monsoon tires because the weather just got worse. As you can see now, it's raining quite heavily. And there's a massive amount of fog on the track, which doesn't help with visibility, especially with the long braking distances you need to take in these conditions. And some madness is going on here. Someone crashed into the others. And as you can see, pretty much everyone is out of the race now. So yeah, this sums it up pretty much what was going on the track all this time. And now we have the monsoon tires up. And on lap 26, at the end of lap 26, I'm about to come in for another pit stop because the weather got a lot better. The rain has stopped and the track started to dry, so I decided to try the intermediate. And I think it's not a secret anymore that by this time I was literally the only person who was still in the race. so no one else. As you can see, there is no timer for Purdy, who is supposed to be on P2. And this is the end of the race, lap 35, with me being the only survivor. And if this race lasts a bit longer, I should have come out for another set of wet tires because the rain started again, as you can see. So yeah, this was a very interesting race, to say the least. I was expecting something like this more like in Monaco or maybe even in Zolder. But no, we've had it here in Zandvoort, where the rain basically destroyed everyone on the grid and left me in the lead and winning this race. So with that, I'm also the only one who's getting points, which is pretty stupid, but that's how this game works. But on the good side, I got some experience how the car handles in these conditions, because there was no wet session at all in the season so far. So yeah, this has been an interesting one. So let's head over and take a look at the final standings. Well, there's not much to see on that. That's just basically me finishing the race. And Van Lennep, for some reason, is not classified as a DNF, but he's 29 laps behind me. So it's like he just stopped somewhere in the pit stop and just waited until the end of the race, or maybe somewhere trackside, I don't know. And now I'm only 4 points away from Jackie, so this has helped me a big deal, that everyone crashed out, and it keeps the McLaren drivers behind me by quite a large margin, which could potentially see me keeping my first place, or maybe end up being in the fight with Jackie again. So with this, I basically just got another chance to win the championship. And as you can see, that's what I predicted at the beginning of this video, that we're probably gonna be third in the Constructors' Championship. We still can beat McLaren, however, if it's still only me scoring the points, while McLaren constantly has 2 or 3 drivers, then they will stay ahead of us in the Constructors' standings. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting last couple of races. So this was the 1973 Dutch Grand Prix. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next race in Germany. Goodbye.